Hi, Samantha Pekh, registered psychologist. The purpose of this video is really just to reach out to the people who have been impacted by the fires that are happening in Fort McMurray. If you're not aware of the news that's going on right now, most of the people in Fort Mac have been relocated, and most of the communities in Fort Mac have burned down. As from the last that I checked the news, there was only 2 communities or neighborhoods that haven't been burnt down at this point. So a lot of people have been impacted by these fires. So in order to reach out to the most people that I can, I wanted to just put out a mini series of how people, some of the normal reactions that can happen after a crisis such as this, and some of the strategies that you can begin to put into place to help you cope through, to cope after a crisis like this happens. Some of the normal reactions. This is important for you to know. When people don't understand how their body responds to a crisis when it occurs, they can start feeling like they're losing it. They might be scared by some of the things that they're experiencing. So I want you to understand this so that when it does happen, you're expecting it. And then I'm going to discuss about those strategies you can do to help you cope through all this. Some of the really normal reactions to happen after a abnormal situation such as this is a lot of people will feel nervous. Their anxiety might be really high. They might be starting to feel overwhelmed. A lot of people are likely going to be feeling grief-stricken. They might just not even know where to begin with trying to wrap their heads around everything that they have lost as a result of these fires. After a few days, you might notice that you're beginning to become more irritable or even moody, and you might have repeated images or flashbacks, or they might be appearing in the form of nightmares occurring as well. Other symptoms might be a real difficulty to concentrate. It might even be hard for you just to even think clearly, and you might find that you're getting triggered by things like noises or unexpected movements around you. And due to the just overall tension that happens when something like this occurs, you might even find that your relationships are becoming strained, or the tension within those relationships increases, and that you might just need some space from your family or your group to allow yourself to just decompress a little bit before you reconnect. And that reconnection piece is really key. We don't want you to isolate yourself or to withdraw, because after a crisis, the one thing I can guarantee is if you allow yourself to reach out and to ask for the support you're helping, whether it's to talk about what you're thinking about, what's going on in your mind, whether it's a healthy distraction, I just need a break from all this, or to help get some of a routine going again, or clean up the place that you're currently staying at, just so that some of that clutter is dealt with at the same time. Reach out and get that support. We are really just like wolves. We do so much better when we travel as a pack, and it's a lot easier to cope if we're not trying to do this in isolation. When to seek help is a big question that people start to usually ask around now. You can seek help at any point where you feel as though you're not really doing this well on your own anymore, or you're needing more support than the people around you, such as your family or friends, are able to provide. Generally though, if it's been about 6 weeks and you're still feeling like things aren't getting a bit better, that would be one time frame to kind of keep in mind, especially if you're not able to function at work, if you're not able to function at home, if you're continuing to have the nightmares and flashbacks and the frequency of those don't seem to be getting less, if you're finding it really hard to connect with other people and that you're just starting to withdraw, or you might even be noticing that you're having some suicidal thoughts or feelings, just due perhaps to feeling quite hopeless about the whole situation and the level of stress that you're experiencing. Another sign that you might want to seek some professional support is if you notice yourself starting to avoid things or activities, especially those that remind you of the event. So if you're noticing any of that, then I would strongly advise just connect in with a professional so that you can get some of that support that will help you to move through this time as smoothly as you can. In the next video, I'm going to cover some of the strategies that you can use in order to increase your ability to cope through all of this.